Hello, Duffy's Tavern. Where do you eat meat to eat? Archie, the manager's speaking. Duffy ain't here. Oh, hello, Duffy. How's things? Well, I'd say that our business is on a very solid foundation.
Yeah, on the rocks.
Eddie, please. Yeah, Duffy, we gave the place a thorough cleaning. And a funny thing happened, you know? Remember that black cat of ours? After 5 years, we found out she's really white. Huh? Just a second, I'll find out. Eddie, after we cleaned up the place, what did you do with all the extra dirt, he wants to know?
I dumped it into the cellar.
Oh, he dumped it into the cellar.
Yeah. Now you got to walk up one flight to get down to the cellar.
What, Duffy? Huh? Clean the wall? Look, Duffy, if I scrape one more layer of dirt off of that wall, we'll all be next door. And incidentally, as long as I've been doing all this extra work, what about raising me salary? $15 a week ain't to be sneezed at? Duffy, these days, $15 a week is gone before you can say Gesundheit. Now, look, I'm going to give you a choice. Will you give me a raise and hang up the phone, or shall I keep standing here telling you what a cheap, contemptible crumb you are?
How'd you make out?
He dropped another nickel on the phone.
Stand by for music. It's time for the Page Cavanaugh Trio.
Answer that phone. Tell that Duffy that he's an underhanded rat, a snake, a double-dealing swine, and a two-faced skunk, and that I'm up at the zoo getting some new ideas.
Mr. Archie, I can't.
Tell him he's a baboon, a bottleneck, a big bum, and a browbeaten boor.
Hello. Duffy's Tavern, Eddie, the keeper of the bees, speaking. Oh, hello, Mr. Duffy. Yeah, Mr. Archie? Well, he's busy here with some very big names.
Go ahead. Tell him what I said, the dirty crumb.
Hello, Mr. Duffy. Mr. Archie say he's impatient with you. Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, but you know, these things always lose a little something in the translation.
Give me that phone. Now, look, Duffy, for the last time either I ought to get a raise or I quit. Huh? Okay, I know you love me like a son, but... Yes, I realize the job is steady. Been with you a long time. Yes, I noted at times you have spoken kindly to me. Yes, you did give me my first chance, that's true. Huh? Will I take a cut? You crumb! That's the thanks I get after all of these years. Years of toil and sweat. Years of keeping me nose to the grindstone.
Yeah, and your shoulder to the wheel.
Right.
And your ear to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And your eye on the ball.
Right.
Right. Too bad you never found time to do some work.
I'll ignore that. That tightwad. And with all that dough, too, what's he gonna do with it? He can't take it with him.
Well, maybe not. But as soon as he finds out which way he's going, 3 to 1, he'll make arrangements to have it shipped.
What a fiend in human form.
Archie, I want to talk to you.
Well, if it ain't man's best friend. Good evening, Miss Duffy.
Archie, why do you have these fights with Papa? You know his bark is worse than his bite.
That's only because he ain't got no teeth.
But you shouldn't holler at him like you do. After all, he's an old man, and you're like a son to him. Even more than I am.
Well, I just can't stand him.
Archie, how about that time you had your tonsils taken out? Who was it paid the hospital bills?
Who paid? Miss Duffy, I was in a county hospital, and the county paid the bills.
Granted. But who pays taxes to the county?
Look, Miss Duffy, stop making like a bluebird. Hate this job, and I'm going to quit it. What a dope I was ever to leave Flyshacker, Bushwhacker, Millstone, and Briggs.
Who?
That law firm that I used to work for. Flyshacker, Bushwhacker, Millstone, and Briggs.
What did you do?
What do you think I did?
Wash windows?
That was just a lucky guess. But at the same time, I was training to be a lawyer. In fact, do you know what Flyshacker used to call me?
Hey, stupid.
That was Millstone. Flyshacker used to call me his corpus delicti. Really loved me, you know. Not only that, but he had great confidence in me legal knowledge. In fact, I often heard Flyshacker say to Bushwhacker, someday that Archie's going to be a real shyster.
You know, you sure was a sucker to quit that job if Flyshacker and Bushwhacker took that much interest in you.
Well, Briggs was even more interested. In fact, I spent most of my time in Briggs' office.
Why was that?
Briggs was a dame. Yeah, learned a lot of law from Briggs, too. I used to go to court with her and watch her exhibit her briefs. What a lawyer she was. When she got through with a jury, they didn't know whether they was coming or going.
All right.
Oh. Hiya, Finnegan.
And how's your wife and kids?
The what? Finnegan, are you nuts? I ain't married.
I know, Arch, but it seems such a friendly way to open the conversation.
Well, I'm glad you dropped in. We was just talking about the old days when I studied law with Flyshacker, Bushwhacker, Millstone, and Briggs. Remember what smart lawyers they was, Finnegan?
Oh, yeah. Especially that Flyshacker. Well, that guy could take a look at a contract and in 30 seconds he could tell you whether it was verbal or written.
Yes, he could. Yeah, them was the days. I often wonder what Flyshacker looks like today. Last time I seen him was years ago when I testified in court.
When was that?
When Colucci's horse bit the street cleaner. Remember? I was a witness for the horse.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember. And boy, what a horse's witness you were.
Yeah, that's what Flyshacker said at the time.
I remember that very... Hey, wait a minute, Arch. I forgot that you studied law. Maybe you can help me out. You know, me father's been having a little trouble with the traffic cops.
Trouble?
Yeah. For the last month, the cops been giving him a ticket for parking in front of our house.
So?
So every morning, the old man's been going down to court and paying a fine.
Well, then why don't he stop parking there?
How can he? It ain't his car.
Well, if the car is parked in front of your house and it don't belong to your old man, why does he pay the fines?
Ah, it's cheaper than moving the house.
Now, Finnegan, if Brains was borscht, you couldn't get on the menu at Lindy's. Now, stop worrying about your troubles. I got troubles of my own.
Good evening, Archie, me boy.
Oh, hello, Officer Clancy. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. I'm a little worried about Mrs. Clancy's health, though.
Why, what's wrong with her?
Nothing.
Clancy, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Every night you come in here and rap your wife. Don't you ever wake up hating yourself in the morning?
That's the one advantage of being married to Mrs. Clancy. If I don't hate myself in the morning, she does.
Yeah, but why keep knocking her? If you feel that way about her, why don't you divorce her?
What's the use?
What do you mean, what's the use?
Archie, a friend of mine divorced his wife, and every week for 10 years, he had to pay her a great big alimony. So what happened? Last week, he turned around and married her again.
Why?
For her money. Well, Archie, I'll be seeing you. I got to go to court.
You're going to court?
Yes, I've got to testify. It seems that one of Grogan's employees had an accident. A beer keg fell on his head, and he's suing Grogan.
Suing Grogan? Has he got a case?
Oh, a very good case. The law says if an employee gets hurt during business hours,
Yeah?
the boss is responsible for damages.
That's one way of getting a raise.
What?
Nothing, Clancy. I'll see you later.
So long, Archie.
Say, Eddie,
Yes?
I just happened to recall a bit of legal knowledge. Do you know that if an employee in Duffy's Tavern was hurt, say he had a leg or an arm broken, that we could sue Duffy for plenty?
Which employee did you have in mind?
Eddie, you got to do it. It's the only honest legal means I've got of getting a raise out of Duffy.
Mr. Archie, a broken arm.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll settle for a finger.
But what about my piano lesson?
You don't take piano lessons.
I start tomorrow.
Just a fair weather friend, huh? Okay, I'll get somebody else.
Say, Arch,
Finnegan, just the man I'm looking for. Finnegan, I got a business proposition for you.
Oh, fine, Arch. I've been looking for a good business proposition.
Yeah? How would you like to break your arm?
Well, I was thinking of opening a hot dog stand, but if that's the trend. So, which arm do I break, Arch?
Well, what's the difference?
There's a lot of difference. My left arm is shorter. See? It only hangs to me knee.
Well, if it'll make you feel better, we'll break your leg.
What's it worth?
$10.
How much for 2 legs?
$20.
I see. How much for 3 legs?
What do you care? You only got 2 legs.
You seem to forget I'm still a growing boy.
To start with, we'll just break 1 leg. Now, stop being a pig.
Just a minute, Arch. If I break this leg, would they send me to the hospital?
Probably.
Would I have to take ether?
Ether? I suppose so.
Then the deal is off. That stuff wakes me up. Arch, look. Why don't you break a leg?
Me? Break me own leg?
Yeah.
What are you, a sadist?
Well, sorry, Arch. That is...
Hey, wait a minute. It don't have to be a real accident, does it? It's a fake. Yeah. Give me that phone. Mr. Duffy, this here is the legal firm of Burke and Lefkowitz. Yes, this is Mr. Lefkowitz talking. We are all the legal representatives of your employee, Mr. Archie. Yeah, chandelier just done fell on his head and he had his brain concussed. Yeah. Now that's the ipso. Now the fatso is, how about making a settlement? You send a lawyer right down to the tavern? Okay.
You send the lawyer down?
So what? After my years with Flyshacker, Bushwhacker, Millstone, and Briggs, I got a bit of legal knowledge myself.
But is it legal in the state it's in?
Stop making wisecracks, Eddie. I'm going to back room and prepare me case.
Prepare your case.
Yeah, bandage me head. Now, take care of the customers. I'll see you later.
Hey, Eddie.
Yeah.
Well, while Archie's in the back room, do you mind if I sing a song?
Well, why not? Just go ahead, Mr. Orange. Bring the customers, baby. Glad to hear you.
In the night, though we're apart, there's a ghost of you within my haunted heart. Ghost of you, my lost romance, lips that laugh, eyes that dance. Haunted heart, won't let me be. Dreams repeat a sweet but lonely song to me. Dreams are dust, it's you who must belong to me and thrill my haunted heart. Be still, my haunted heart. And thrill my haunted heart. Be still, my haunted heart.
Here's another page from the Page Kavanaugh Trio.
Hey, Eddie, pin this bandage on me head, will you? That lawyer of Duffy's will probably be here any minute.
You think that lawyer's gonna believe you got concussion of the brain?
Eddie, the law distinctly states that no man is guilty until he is presumed innocent. And even then, not until a jury peers.
Hey, look, Art. How about me being a witness?
No. No, it'll have to be done legal.
Legal?
Yeah, if you're going to be a witness, I'll have to prepare a writ, or in your case, a half writ. Hey, wait a minute. This is probably Duffy's lawyer coming in the door now.
Where?
The old duffer in a clean collar.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, sir. Are you, pray chance, looking for the accident?
That is correct.
I am he. I take it that you are the counsel for the defense?
Also correct.
I happen to represent the plaintiff.
You are a lawyer?
I am, sir.
A member of the Bar Association?
Certainly I'm a member of the Bar Association. How do you think I got these shiny elbows? But I studied law on the side.
I see. Well, Counselor, if we can come to an agreement, perhaps we can settle this matter out of court.
Very well, Counselor. I'll call the first witness. Mr. Green, take the stand.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Green, did I give you a bribe for this testimony?
Not yet.
Well, Counselor, does that satisfy you that the case is on the level?
No objection, Counselor.
Thank you, Counselor. Well, Mr. Green, I would like you to tell the court in your own words, what you know about Duffy's trusted, loyal employee, Archie.
I have known Mr. Archie for 7 years, during which time not once have I ever seen him perform an act of dishonesty or disloyalty to his employer, unquote.
I thank you, Mr. Green.
The preceding statement was a paid political advertisement.
Want to take another belt at it?
Counselor, please do not digress. This is highly irregular.
Objection overruled. And may I suggest that the learned counsel keep his yap shut while the court's in session? Mr. Green.
Yes, sir?
Mr. Green, do you see this chandelier?
I do.
Can you tell me what it is?
I can.
What is it?
Chandelier.
Your witness, Counselor.
We'll concede that it's a chandelier.
I thought you would. Now, Counselor, do you have any no processes?
What?
Any beefs?
Sir, by the prima facie evidence, the merits of your plea are ipso facto null and void.
You're willing to surrender, huh?
I mean you haven't given me one iota of proof.
Sir, are you familiar with the case of the people of New York versus the itty-bitty tea room?
I am not.
Then shut up. Now we'll call the next witness. Miss Duffy.
Miss Duffy, you mean you're going to let the opponent's daughter testify?
Can the learned counsel suggest a better habeas to corpus? Miss Duffy, take the witness chair. Now, Miss Duffy, remember, anything you say will be held against you.
Anything?
Yes.
Okay. Van Johnson.
Please. Madam, this court is no place for levidity. We're trying to arrive at a verdict. Now, look me in the eye.
I'll still take Van Johnson.
I suggest that the witness have a little more contempt for the court. Okay, Counselor, you may question the witness.
Thank you. Now, Miss Duffy.
The answer is yes.
I beg your pardon.
That's my answer. Make up your own question.
Counselor.
Yes?
Counselor, your witness.
Oh, you're getting tricky, huh? Very well. If it pleases the court, I would like to cop a plea of replevin.
On what grounds?
I think it's perfectly obvious.
I object.
What do you object to?
know, but it's better than sitting around here like a dope.
Very well, Mr. Finnegan, take the stand.
Okay, Arch.
Sir, the court contends that... Finnegan, what are you doing rolling your pants above your knees?
Arch, I'm giving out with the old sex appeal.
Please, do not try to perjure the court. Now, raise your right hand.
Your right hand?
Your right hand.
Here's both of them. You got the education. Pick out the one you want.
Mr. Finnegan, please, try to concentrate. Now, tell me, sir, you and me is total strangers, are we not?
The very best.
Did I in any way attempt to bribe you to be a witness?
You mean them Tootsie Rolls you slipped me?
What's this?
I swear to tell the whole truth that Archie never slipped me a Tootsie Roll.
I'd like to take this witness.
You're welcome, Tom. Objection sustained. Take the guy.
Mr. Finnegan, look me in the eye.
Okay, you got me. I confess. I did it. I did it.
Did what?
I don't know.
Well, Counselor, does that convince you? Are you now willing to concede that the chandelier fractured me skull?
Yes, I'll concede it, and I'll settle right now for $50.
$50? For an injury to one of the finest legal brains in America? Sir, the offer is rejected.
All right, then, we'll take it to court, and I'll prove that the whole thing is a frame-up, or my name is not J.G. Flyshacker.
Wait a minute. What was that name?
Flyshacker.
Flyshacker of Flyshacker, Bushwhacker, Millstone, and Briggs?
The same.
Mr. Flyshacker, don't you recognize me? I'm Archie. I used to work for you. Remember? Archie.
Archie the Shyster. Yes, I do remember. Yes, now I'm sure we'll find no trouble at all in settling this case.
Well, that's fine. Thanks a lot, Mr. Flyshacker.
I'm sure I can prove to any court in this city that there isn't a chandelier in America heavy enough to crack a skull that thick.
Duffy's Tavern with Clifton Finnegan, Eddie the waiter, Miss Duffy, and starring Ed Gardner as Archie, has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.